And so we are going to have, instead of, no, right here, go to that one, and you hit that, and it's
microphone array.
I think. Okay, so let's see if that works.
Go ahead.
You want to try talking into the microphone?
Hello.
No.
No. No.
Oh.
No,
No.
it's not.
No.
Just a second. No. Let me turn it towards me real quick. Okay, it does have. But it's still picking up our main microphone.
Yeah, it's only picking up our main microphone.
Here. Because this is.
Oh, I see.
This should be.
But usually, actually, it usually shows you the input as the other thing.
Oh, wait, let me see.
Doesn't say it.
It's not that, no.
That's dumb.
It's live. Is that like?
It is live. We're doing all of this
Yes,
live.
we're doing this live. Joy's probably watching.
No, she's.
Boom.
Oh yeah, she is.
Boom.
Yeah, it's... Wait. They're different. This...
It's working.
It's working? Is theirs
Can you hear
working?
her?
It's literally echoing because
Okay.
it picks up on phone mics.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Don't point it towards us.
Awkwardly whisper into the microphone.
You can't see this, but they're just like huddled around like a cult around this microphone. Yeah, hello. They also took a picture. So, hi guys, and welcome to the Odd Unicorn Podcast. We have a bunch of ghostly guests behind the camera who are going to, instead of telling you how our week was, because our weeks are normally pretty boring.
Yes.
We decided instead they're going to ask us would you rather questions. We have not vetted these questions. We have no
This could
clue
be
what they're going to be.
interesting.
Anna, have the dials facing you. That's where the microphone is. Yeah.
No, now it's facing us.
I had it facing the other way before.
Oh, I see.
Turn yourself so it's not facing us.
She doesn't
It's
want
not
to look
echoing.
at
Going
us.
this way? Will
Yes.
this work?
So that-
Well, will it still pick me up in your
A little bit,
A
but
little
it
bit.
won't be a big
It'll
deal.
probably be less.
Okay. So, we're ready for the first would you rather question.
I got one. Would you rather swim in a tank of sharks or in a room crawling with spiders? Be in a room crawling with spiders.
Tank of sharks. Easily. Okay. A shark, you can see it, and you can swim away, or you can punch it, or something like that. But spiders, you like, huh, and then it's on your hand. No, I hate spiders.
I'd have to say probably sharks as well because sharks are stereotypically violent, but they're not.
Yeah, in actuality,
because there's so many videos of people swimming with sharks.
Spiders are not necessarily violent.
Exactly, they're just creepy. Though.
creepy. No.
So yeah, sharks.
I got one. Would you rather give up air conditioning and heating for the rest of your life or give up the internet for the rest of your life?
Internet.
AC and heating. No, I would rather. I
could live without
Okay,
internet.
But see, I already, like, my car doesn't have AC, and I just roll the windows down. If it's cold, you just put on a couple extra coats.
I might.
Right? But the internet is
True.
the entire reason that this exists, and it's the reason I learned how to do this.
That is true. Yes.
Which
So-
otherwise-
do this if we didn't have the internet.
That's also true.
Man, that's a tough one.
Anyway.
Nah, I'd still go with AC and heat.
Yeah, would you rather always hit red lights or always have slow internet?
Wait, always. Oh.
Oh, that's a hard question.
Neither.
They're both so frustrating.
Yeah, that's true. I'd have to go with red lights though, because when I'm in a car, I know that a red light just it eventually stops. But with slow internet, you never know when it stops. You never know how slow it's
And
gonna
then she
be.
said always
Always.
red light or always slow
Correct.
internet. I would say also always red light
Yeah.
because you can plan for You can
You
plan
can
around that
plan
lane
for a
early.
red light.
Yeah, red
You
light.
can't plan for slow internet.
Well, you can.
No,
Wait.
but like gaming,
Yeah, that'd
then
be
you can't do any
nearly
gaming.
impossible.
Like there's so many
This
things.
would be ridiculous.
Yeah, this would be impossible.
I got another
Okay, go
one.
ahead.
Okay.
Would you rather only be able to whisper or only be able to shout?
Whisper.
Whisper.
Yeah.
No, I already shout all the time and people think I'm so annoying. But anytime you whisper, everyone listens.
It's true.
That is true.
It's true.
Would you rather have all your clothes made out of paper bag or plastic bag?
Paper. Well, oh wait, but then it tears so easily.
Yeah, but plastic would be so sticky.
And we're not saying transparent plastic bags because
Well,
that would just
obviously.
be. Okay, no, it has to be paper. The only reason is I've been in what was essentially a plastic bag, those painter suit, and it was during the summer. To have to do that during the summer, you would be a bucket of sweat every day, all day. I could not do. I'd rather paper bag.
Okay, I got another one. Would you rather buy 10 things you don't need every time you go shopping, or always forget the one thing that you need when you go to the store?
You know, I am very unique in the fact that I already do both. Okay, I've literally done that. Not 10 things. It was like 4 or 5 things that I didn't need.
People do that a lot.
And then I get to my car and I go, wait a minute. I went in there for, whatever it was. I think one time I did it twice.
Yes, I think I heard. I was either there or you told me about it. I don't remember.
I think I told you about it. Where I went in.
So I would rather
Yeah.
buy the 10 things I don't need. Honestly, yeah, because
'Cause
it doesn't say they had to be expensive.
Plus, you could sell them on eBay.
Yeah.
So rather than always forgetting the thing you need, because then you die. If you always forget the thing you need,
It's true, because if you always forget it, you'll never get it.
you'll always need it.
Yeah, and you'll always need it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be too hard.
Would you rather fight 1,000 ant-sized bulls or one bull-sized ant?
Ant-sized bowls.
Yes.
100%.
Okay, wait. You think about it though. Ant-sized bulls, it's just like tiny little pieces of fluff. Like that would be super easy. Cause bulls, they're
They'd be
big.
pokey, but yeah.
Bulls' biggest danger is how strong they are.
Mm-hmm.
And an ant-sized bull, no matter how many multiple, ants are super strong for their size, I can still crush them.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
a bull-sized ant would, that'd be horrible. Literally.
I have one. Would you rather have the ability to speak to animals or know 15 languages?
Languages, 15 languages.
Wait, I need to think about this for a little bit though.
That one, I'm just 15 languages.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. Because I don't care what animals got to say.
But see, for me, I've never gone outside of the U.S. And I know a lot of people that never do.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
But there's so many languages within the U.S.
that's true.
because there's so many people that come over from the.
But there's so many
Of
animals.
the instruction manual.
You can hear the same thing 15 times.
Yeah.
But okay, but here's the thing about is if you could speak to animal, well, I would say you could get them to do what you wanted, but they're still pretty
But
stupid.
yeah, they don't have a comprehension.
Animals
So-
just repeat
So they could
themselves over and
understand
over
you,
again.
but they wouldn't care.
Yeah,
Yeah,
All
Yeah,
the people
so-
understand you don't care.
that's true. It's true.
neither.
15 languages for me.
Yeah, I guess it would be more practically useful.
So
Plus, then you can, but you could show off better if you could speak animal
Okay, we got
languages.
another
It's
one.
true. Okay.
Would you rather speak only in a baby voice for a day or only be spoken to in a baby voice for a day?
Speak.
Yeah, speak.
You can hold your mouth. You can't stop other people from talking. That would be so disturbing.
I would just enjoy myself,
I would laugh at
honestly.
everybody though.
I would
That'd be so
enjoy
funny.
myself. Yeah, walk around.
There would be some people I would hear like that. Or with a
Yeah.
It would be hilarious.
I guess it would be kind of entertaining for a day to just have everyone you talk to. How are you doing? I like fire shots.
Yeah, I would enjoy speaking though. Yeah.
I mean, I can already
Okay,
do
would
it
you rather
though. I
live
normally
without
do.
movies or without music?
Movies.
Me too.
See, okay, wait. I like movies, though.
Yes.
And I like making movies, but I love music.
But if it's without music, those movies would not have.
Oh, you're
Music.
right. Yeah, without movies, then. Yeah.
Yeah, because if we live without
Yeah, you had movies
music,
without music, which would be lame.
Yeah,
they would.
They'd feel very hollow.
They would. Yes, they'd have to have dramatic noises rather than music.
It'd be like Bollywood films.
Yeah.
Any more? Have we found? Okay, Bethany, take the mic.
Or speaking
Yeah.
to it.
Would you rather have gills for lungs or scales over your entire body?
Wait, gills for so no lungs, only gills.
You have to breathe water.
You'd have to breathe water. Yeah, no scales. 100%.
I guess scales. You'd be an outcast of society, but at least you'd be able to
Be a freak, but
exist
yes.
in society.
You could just
Although.
be a hermit.
But then you'd be like the Elephant Man, where you're just like put.
So actually,
Made
let's
fun of.
rethink that real quick. Either way, you'd be an outcast. It could possibly be more interesting in the water, but you'd be the only human.
You'd probably die
You might
easily
get
though.
eaten. You would
Eated? Did you say
You might get
eated?
eated.
Sorry.
Eaten. Eated. Oh, to be eated.
What do you got? What do you got?
Would you rather be an extra in an Oscar-winning movie or the lead in a box office bomb?
Lead in a box office bomb, you're still more famous because if it got to the box office, at least people would know who you are. You can make comedy videos about
As long as
making
you make
terrible
enough of your
movies.
faces, everybody
That
knows
could be
who
your
you
whole
are
career.
As an extra, just putting that out there.
But as an extra, like, can you tell me like halfway through who the extra in Princess Bride was?
No.
Exactly.
Nobody can tell you some weird faces.
But you could definitely remember the main character of a horrible
Horrible
movie.
main character, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, main character. There's another one.
Would you rather have someone lick your face or bite your arm?
Bite my arm.
Lick my face. I hate the bite. It literally drives me insane. Whenever someone's teeth are on my arms,
He's
I
probably insane right now.
Yes.
It's clearly he's experienced it.
yes. But like I that's the only time my body instinctively says violence. Be violent. Whenever someone's teeth are on my arms. So no, I'd rather someone lick my face. And they've done it before.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay, would you rather be, since we were talking about the other thing, would you rather be famous for something you did, like terribly, say, a terrible role in a movie, or would you rather live in anonymity in, say, an extra?
So would you rather never be famous or be
And do a really good
infamous?
job. Or,
Yeah.
famous for doing something terrible.
I'd be infamous, like that.
Yeah.
Nobody knows about me. I'm okay with that.
No, you'd be
No,
But
anonymous.
anonymous, yes, that's the word I'm.
I don't know. That's hard for me. I'm a guy. I like being in the spotlight. So even if it was infamous, that's comedy though for me.
Could be.
So I could launch a comedy career. I'd be like, wow, I did that so horribly. All right, let's launch a comedy career talking about how horribly I did. So I think infamous for me.
Would you rather be trapped on a desert island with someone who never speaks or with someone who never shuts up?
I don't know. That one,
I'll let you answer first because I
would
easily
say
know.
Someone who never shuts up because you can like leave them behind, but someone who never speaks, you could never get any response out of them, and it would be really annoying.
I actually
But
think I
they
wouldn't
might be
mind
able to
someone
read,
who
like,
never
write to
speaks.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd rather someone who never shuts up. Those are actually some of my favorite people because I love talking.
But see, if they never shut up,
Wait.
you never get a word in
You never get a
edgewise.
Oh, wait, you never get a word in? Oh, those types of people?
They never shut
Oh,
up.
I hate those types of people. Conversations are supposed to be two-way, you numbskulls.
Okay, let's do two more.
Yeah, two more and then we have to continue. Don't say a name.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
What?
What? I am so confused. I
Okay.
may have gotten the name wrong.
Yeah.
But, would you rather be stuck on a desert island with Joe Biden or AOE. Is that right?
Who's AOE?
Alexandra.
Okay, I was correct.
Something. I don't remember. She's very liberal lady. down
Oh, a
south.
liberal lady or a man who is mentally declining.
Mhm.
Oh.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, easily. He will actually, having seen his speeches, he's probably a very sweet old man to talk to if you're just talking to stuff. Whereas AOE will probably never shut up about her liberal agenda and how it can change the world.
But at
It's
the
like,
same time, you could take it from the perspective of she might actually want to get off the island, whereas Joe Biden might just kind of get lost in the woods. And...
I feel like that's just a public service to society.
Anyway, one more.
One more. Oh no, I'm being canceled.
There we go. Last one.
Would you rather text in emojis or never be able to text ever again?
Never be able to text again easily.
Yeah, never text. I already prefer calling
Yep.
to texting.
I think the
So-
whole I think the whole
Yeah.
text culture of even if I couldn't even call them and I had to talk to everyone in person or like over letter, I'd
Yeah.
still prefer that because I don't like people that are just they'll say LOL to everything or give a laughing face emoji to like, oh my grandma died. LOL, relatable. It's like there are people like that though, and it's so annoying. You wait. I wish I could turn the camera on her.
Imagine.
We could just bring her over
Bethany,
here. Come
you.
here. Come here. You're the LOL.
You're the
grandma just
LOL
died.
relatable when the grandma died.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same.
Shame.
That is absolutely.
Imagine asking someone to go get you something from the store with emojis.
Oh, that could be interesting.
It's just
There are emojis that
Again, I would just ask
True.
them before they left.
You could just call them every 2
What if
seconds
they don't
of the
live
day.
with you?
Or you could just talk to them the whole time they're at the store.
Yeah, I do that anyway.
Problem solved.
Oh,
All right. Well, that was
Speaking
a
of-
lot of fun. We need.
Here, I'm gonna delete their input now.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, we'll get it mixed up.
So speaking of texting and trying to communicate in such a way.
Thank you. Thank you all.
girls. That was
that
fun.
was hilariously
That was fun.
We need to make our first session just some sort of variety show.
That could be fun. V for variety.
Peace signs. What V for blueberries?
No,
did
she
you
has
say?
she has blueberries
Oh.
painted onto her
Oh,
fingernails.
that's pretty cool. You should show the camera.
Look, everybody.
Can you see it?
No, they
No,
can't.
that's-
It's way too blurry.
Far away.
Eh.
Go to your left.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
Anyway, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Talking about communication.
Yeah. Last week we started talking about communication. We got a pretty
We
decent
kind of got a good overview.
overview, and
Good setup.
I was going to listen to kind of get a refresh of last week's before
Okay.
today, and I forgot. So, oh well.
You didn't listen to the
You
last
didn't.
week?
How dare you?
How dare you? Everyone should be listening to last week's episode. It was great.
And the one before that, and before that, and before
All of them.
most of them.
Season
yeah.
1 could be left behind if they wanted to.
More or less. Man, I've got to fix that leak.
Tell you what.
It's very annoying. Anyway.
We gotta ignore that.
But yeah, so this week we're wanting to dive into communication a little bit more.
Yep.
And so last Wednesday actually, while I was at work, because I don't do anything while I'm at work. It's boring.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it is.
I was thinking a lot about it, and so I actually thought of a bunch of stuff, put them in a note here in my Odd Unicorn note. So one of the things on here that I'm really stuck on, and anyone listening to last week probably would have noticed I was pretty stuck on it too, is the speed of communication nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just really stuck on it, man.
Well, see, the thing is, the speed of communication, it fundamentally changed the way we communicate. Just like the speed of computing, it went from people in a room with machines. Maybe has like an abacus or something, some sorts of machines to help them. And once it switched from humans, that's biological intelligence, and machines, analog intelligence, to digital intelligence, the speed of communication started. Okay, she is making faces, and I can't focus.
Can't ignore her.
I'm sorry.
Okay. No, you don't have to leave if you want to watch, but you're just very distracting. Anyway, so the speed of communication of computing changed the way we compute completely, right? We went from talking to people, sending them letters, and calling them to being able to live stream
Yes.
to two people. It's amazing. We're doing great.
Yeah.
But even those two people, which I don't know who all is watching, but
Her and somebody else.
someone else, whoever the someone else is, oh, you're watching? Okay, so it's
yeah,
actually,
okay.
it's people in this room, but the people that are going to be watching it. Nice. So the people that are going to be watching, it could be in Africa, could be in Asia, could be in Europe, and anywhere in the United States for sure. And that changed the way we compute forever. And we had to change stuff. We had to account for it. There's new laws and legislature about the way things can be run on the internet that never were there because the speed of communication the speed of computing had to change the way we compute. Communication is the same way, and I don't think that as many people realize it as they probably should.
Yeah, and the basic fundamentals of communication have not changed.
No.
It's still just a transfer of knowledge. But the speed is so different, and it's taking a long time for people to adjust to it. Because personally, I don't think that I personally am of the belief that humans don't need to be going as fast as they are.
Really?
Yeah, I think everything. I don't know. I just don't think people really need to be going so fast. It makes people are stressed so much faster.
It's true.
And
Because neither of us believe in evolution.
yes,
Both of us, and I think actually a lot of people watching, believe that we're designed, not evolved.
yeah,
And so a lot of the arguments about advancing technology is that we evolve to it. We adapt to it. Our brains were designed. God designed our brains. And so that means they're not really going to fundamentally evolve just because of artificial technology. And so I guess you're right. I don't think we were meant to go as fast as we do.
yeah. And one of the things that applies to speed and communication that we didn't hit on last week, because we talked a lot about the speed of communication.
Yeah.
But one of the things we didn't end up talking about is how that, because communication is so fast, a lot of people have a tendency to speak too fast to listen. They're talking so quick, they gotta say what they gotta say, that those people, you can't get a word in edgewise.
Yeah.
They speak so fast, they're not listening. And then even when they do stop talking, they're already thinking about what they're going to say next.
Yeah,
They're not taking the time to listen to who they're talking
Yeah, that's because that's super normal on social media, where you can get in hundreds of words. You can get in a ton, and no one can stop you.
Yeah, and
no one can talk over you.
Exactly. Like even people watching us now, we are talking to each other, but we're talking to them.
Yep.
And they have no input on the contrary. They are hearing what we're saying.
They could disagree with us in the comments.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But they still have no input on this conversation.
Mhm.
So that means we can get in tons and tons of words, and they can't say a word about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't pointing at you, Anna. we have a ventriloquist in the back, just the opposite of one, actually, where the mouth moves but the voice doesn't speak. She just...
Yeah, a mime. A very
A mime.
dramatic mime.
Our local internet mime. The problem is when you're behind the camera, your miming work, it doesn't really do much.
Yeah, so because people are... It's because we're so used to the speed of things, our brains do adapt.
Yeah.
We do adapt to our surroundings, to everything in life. And, where am I going? Oh, so our brains do have to move faster. And so...
What it does
compute
when it
things.
moves faster, though, and this is something people have found, it's like children. Children's brains move very slow. You want to know why?
So you can learn more.
Well, yes, but the specific reason their brains move slow is because they're taking in every single piece of information. It's
Yeah.
been proven over and over. Children will notice things that adults won't. And as you get older, you take it from information, turn it into patterns, turn those patterns into habits, those habits into principles, and those principles into worldview. That's why old people have such a hard time adapting, because their brain has already solidified the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of brain work to just take in information or to create new habits. And the brain was already done doing that 20 years ago. And so it's something that then, with the update of communication going so fast, we then apply that even faster. Even though patterns patterns change really quickly now. So every single person their brain is at a different state.
Yeah, and that's why even, like, our grandparents, our parents, like, you know, for them, everything was more or less, it was still progressing,
Yeah.
but slowly, up until after they were adults.
Yep.
But then, now that it's after they're adults, everything just exploded forward.
Yeah.
But we as the kids, we grew up with this. This is now
Yeah.
normal for us. So
I think
there's a
maybe
big
for
difference.
us, I think the brain adapted easier. And actually maybe not even as much for, like, you know, me, because we didn't have the internet super, like, integrated. I knew what it was. I was no stranger to computers and the internet and whatever. But we weren't allowed to use it a ton, so we really didn't get used to it. So I kind of, until 8 years old. So I still had, like, plenty of time. So I still adapted way easier. But I relate more to, like, the millennials, where halfway through the internet came, and rather than always having it. So I almost feel like the kids that grew up with the internet probably they'll have, well, you see it with TikTok, where they know how the internet works, and they work with the internet, and they grow with the internet. But that means that then their problem is connecting with the real world. And that's the issue of communication that we're trying to
that's what we're
uncover. Because I feel like half the people have trouble connecting with the internet world, and half the people have trouble connecting with the real world.
So what we're wanting to do is connect all of that.
Yeah, connect the real world to the digital world.
Yeah.
Because the forms, and I think you're right, the speed of communication has greatly outpaced the real world speed of communication. Which means those that are used to real world speed of communication get on the internet and are super overwhelmed.
Yeah, like me, actually, even. Because, you know, I'm only, 22.
Yeah.
So I'm not, you know, I'm not super old, but we didn't have internet until probably like close to 2013, 14, something like that.
Huh?
So I was 13, 14 years old before we even had internet in our house.
Wow.
So, well, maybe not quite that late. I don't remember. Yeah, maybe closer to 2010, but still. So I did a lot of my main growing up, like my main learning life basics before internet. Before the major influx of internet.
So you kind of feel that overwhelming sense when you're on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that, but at the same time, even though I did my main growing in the world or whatever before the major influx of internet, I still was young enough when internet came that I kind of grew with it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm to the point now where I'm not up to date on a lot of internet stuff, but then again, I also
me
just
neither
don't care.
I think not all of it needs to. I'm trying to see when Windows 8 came out, because that's really when I started understanding, when I started actually becoming part of the internet.
What was before Windows 8?
Windows
Or
7.
7, but then
Vista.
Vista. Yeah, so that Vista.
Okay, yeah, 2012.
Okay, yeah.
So both of us about the same time kind of started on the
I
internet.
know 7's before 8, but I also knew.
I'm just laughing at this.
Okay. But I think Vista, whatever, is kind of around the time when we started connecting to internet.
Yeah, well, I think
Vista
that's when
7, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I think it was 7 was probably what you got. Or maybe you
Probably.
just hadn't updated.
Could be.
I remember 7. So I remember the computer. Actually, I remember the computer slightly on Vista. I remember the widgets. That's all I remember. But I thought that was part of Windows 7. I later learned it was part of Windows Vista. So we had those old computers with the CRT monitors. I remember the first time we got a flat screen monitor.
Uh-huh.
My mind was blown.
Like, wait, you can compact it to
It's that
small?
thin?
Yes.
What? And then now...
And that's like, 2 inches thick.
Yeah, and it's the one that's upstairs.
Yeah. Actually, like, this
It's
one,
about the same thickness, where it's
2
really
inches
thick,
thick.
because they're not LEDs, so they're way thicker.
Yeah.
But that... No, they're both LCD. They just... One has an LED backlight, the other one has a different light bulb backlight, and I can't remember the name.
Normal lights.
Yeah. Well, actually, LED are kind of normal lights now.
But anyway, so
that, both of us around 2010, 2012 were when we started actually being part of the internet. So we didn't really grow up understanding it. I think that's kind of why I like YouTube better, because it's one, you see a video, you click on the video, you watch the video. Whereas with like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, it's scrolling. It's just information just going. It's like endless, infinite information. It's just like...
Yeah, and so even with that, the speed has brought us, like, the internet brought us speed, but another thing that it has brought us, which has really diminished communication just in general, is the ability to easily, quickly, instantly speak with strangers from anywhere, rather than speaking with friends. Your friends in person, rather than speaking with them, now we have the ability to instantly speak with any random stranger that we don't hardly know. So thus, the conversations with them,
the quality of communication.
A very low quality, yes.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I personally I don't have problems with internet friends. I think it's okay as long as you think of them as internet friends. You have to understand, because the communication between people in the real world and people on the internet is fundamentally different. Your brain doesn't actually treat it the same, even if you want it to. Like, I've heard so many people who were just texting someone or online messaging, and then when they met in person, it was so awkward.
Yeah.
They had to become friends.
Yeah, because in person, there's so much more input. Rather than just words or even vocal, it's now vocal, facial expressions, gestures, everything.
Cadence.
On that. Cadence, yes.
The time you have to react, the ways you react, everything's different. And the consequence of the communication seems a lot bigger, too. If you have someone on the internet message you, and you message them back and realize you don't want to talk to them, you just don't talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
In real life, I mean, you could do that, but that'd be extremely rude.
Yes.
And apparently Anna just does that. She's just rude. So the quality of communication and the convenience of communication differs greatly. And so I think one of the biggest issues for young people is that because they grew up on the internet, a lot of them, and grew up with this super fast, convenient communication, they have trouble communicating in person because it's so incredibly different.
Yeah. Yeah, and another big detriment is the fact that, getting acquaintances that you can communicate with over the internet, the people that have, I guess, created the internet decided to call them friends instead of some other term.
I'm pretty sure Mark Zuckerberg started that. If I'm not mistaken, because I think on like Tumblr and stuff, they weren't considered friends. I think it was like followers and creepy Mark. Anyway, so I think he kind of started that because he started Facebook the way actually it's a surprising amount of social media and internet things are started on college campuses. Yeah. And it was originally Facebook was only for colleges. And friends is just a very personal way to describe people. And you're right, it's kind of disingenuous.
Yeah, it's become, rather than personal as it was originally created, I guess it's become very broad brush. It's like, oh yeah, I've got tons of friends.
Yeah, I heard
half, if not almost all of these people would not do, I guess you could say, the service, big air quotes around that word, of friendship in real life. Like, these are people that I communicate, I share knowledge with them daily even maybe, but in person, they've got their own agenda. I've got my own.
And they got their own life.
Yeah.
The internet, it's a weird paradox where it's only part of your life. And to some people, it is all of their life. And that's just, you don't even want to be friends with people like that. But it's weird because it's part of your life, but sometimes you equate the people on the internet as the same friends as your friends in real life. But I believe friends should apply to all aspects of life, not just one of them. So if you have a friend, they should be able to be your friend no matter what, which means it needs to be something more than convenient communication that connects you.
Yeah, because when you have somebody that maybe you're messaging over internet or even just texting, it's somebody that you don't actually see, not necessarily day to day, but often, you only get those different conversations with them. You're not actually sharing life experiences with them, and so they're not.
That's actually why I often try to push to get people to hang out. I love hanging out with people because it feels so much different than just being on a group chat.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that's why I want the Smash Brothers tournament to get even bigger because I want more people there. I want to be able to, hang out with people and all sorts of different stuff like what you do with game night. I really like that because we all know each other and under certain controlled circumstances we talk to each other. But under the more on just to hang out, most of these people wouldn't normally hang out. And so I really like you brought a ton of people. What was the last one? There was like 30 people?
32, I think.
32. It's insane.
Yeah, stuff them all in this little house. That was interesting.
The fact that they actually all fit and didn't just bust the walls of your house was
if we didn't have that
remarkable.
couch on the porch, it'd be
ridiculous. Yeah. But I really like that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something we've lost.
Yeah, conversation, communication.
Do you have something you would like to say,
What do you
Anna?
wanna say?
I'm okay with
Go
you
ahead.
butting in if you want to. Here.
Okay.
Come over here to the microphone.
Yeah, we need to
Just
hear you
listening.
now.
Ooh.
Hey, watch out, it's wet there, because I have a leak.
I thought it was really interesting because the amount of friends you have on Instagram, if you don't have Instagram, they don't really consider you a friend, even if they see you in person. But then once you have Instagram and you see other posts or they just see you there, it's really weird because they're like, oh, now you're a friend, but then you see them in person and then you're like, they still don't talk to you
That's
that much.
true.
But then
Yeah.
they say, oh, they're my friend, even though they
That's true.
it is really odd.
I've noticed that. That's why I created a thing where I only consider someone a friend if I have their phone number. Because people are much. Oh yeah, you're right in the drip
Watch out for
spot.
the leak.
Dripping on
Thank
my
you for your wisdom.
Yeah, so essentially, internet has changed the definition of friend to all the younger generation.
Yeah, and I don't like it. I really don't. I don't really consider the people on social media my friends. That's why, even
And they don't consider you a friend if you
No, they
have
don't.
it, which is really
Yes.
and they
Yeah.
don't treat you like a friend in real life. They just call you a friend.
They haven't been taught what
sometimes.
true friendship is.
Yeah, so I think we should change the definition of friend.
We should look it up real quick.
We should. Let's see what the real definition. Because, for instance, I don't consider someone a friend unless I have their phone number. The reason is people are a lot less likely to give you their phone number than to give you their social media handle. Yeah, that's why, there's this culture in the world of asking girls for their Instagram, which is the dumbest thing in the world, because you could give anyone your Instagram and they follow you, and if they're a creep, you can block them. So, but if you...
also block telephone numbers.
You can.
It's true, it's true.
It's harder, and also, if they have your telephone number, they could just call you from a different number. And so, yeah, I think... What's the definition of
So,
friend?
okay, the first definition, I think, is the one that we are... Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is the Webster dictionary that we like to use. One who is attached to another by affection. Oh, I just want to pause real quick. The reason we always use the Webster dictionary is because Merriam-Webster was a guy that lived a long time ago. He wrote the first dictionary. Well, I mean, the first dictionary that is still
Published.
that we actually
Yeah, the
use.
first widely accepted and published dictionary.
Yeah.
Widely.
Huh?
You said
You
wildly.
said wildly.
Widely.
Yeah, it's the first widely accepted dictionary that everybody still uses. So we kind of like to go off that's essentially the original definitions of words. So anyway. And he bases a lot of stuff off of the Bible. Anyway, one who is attached to another... I'm sorry for saying anyway so many times. Here we go. One who is attached to another by affection, one who entertains for another sentiments of esteem, respect, and affection, which lead him to desire his company, to seek to promote his happiness and prosperity, opposed to foe or enemy. So not a foe or an enemy.
Yeah.
And a
Which
friend,
also means if you have a friend who you're always arguing with and people are taught, the gossip culture means that a lot of your friends are actually your enemies.
Yeah, and it referenced a phrase from Proverbs 17, a friend loveth at all times. So if it's not somebody who can genuinely, not creepily, say, I love that person, and they can, like, okay, yeah, we fight sometimes, but I still love that person, that's a friend.
One big thing that I saw in there is he used affection twice.
Yes.
And we need to really disconnect affection from lust, right? Because the modern the modern dating culture talks about affection as if it is, lust, which is what most worldly dating nowadays is based on. Mm-hmm. When really, and this is why I've said it multiple times that dating and friendship should be the same, just with different purposes. And so you need to have that affection. You need to love that person and want, like you said, want their happiness, want to esteem them. And I feel like that's kind of lost, where you truly have affection for people, where you truly have that connection, and that doesn't seem to be the definition for friendship anymore, but it should be.
On the internet, you don't have to have affection for people.
Yeah, on the internet, you don't have to have affection for people.
You can just be mildly amused by them and have
Yeah,
a friend.
mildly amused can be a definition of a friend. That's kind of
It's sort of like a funny picture, except for it's a person on the other side of a screen.
a friend should be able to be esteemed more than a funny picture.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that's absolutely right. I think sometimes they're not esteemed that way.
Yeah, so to kind of pull it back a little towards communication.
Just a minute, Anna. Do you want a seat? If you want to,
We're getting near the end of this. I think we're gonna have to go to a part 3
We're gonna have to go to a part
because
3.
I still have notes.
You have more notes?
I have more, and we can expound on these.
Okay.
So
we're gonna have to make this maybe a 4-part series.
Maybe 4. We'll see.
We'll see.
So we went through most of what I have. So I think we can probably cover the rest next week.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to communication. I did it again, but anyway, I'm sorry. Let me think about
Back
this
to
for a second.
communication.
Back to communication. Because I remember where we were. We were talking about how it's so much easier to speak to strangers instead of actual friends.
Yeah.
Everything's communicated without actual life experience. It's all just over the interweb.
It's information without experience.
Yeah, there's no
connection, no affection is needed for friendship anymore.
Yeah, there you go. And so, which brings me to actually another thing on here, which the communication is now shallow. There's no depth of communication. Yes, there are many conversations that are held, and even in person there's many conversations, but there's no depth to those conversations. I even personally, I think it's mostly my personality, but I would say also because of just everything we've been talking about, I have a hard time of having depth of conversation. Also, my brain is a lot slower than most people. So
though also like, and me, so I feel like you would. You feel it, but I feel like people like me and Ruth feel it even more. Where we really want to have deep conversations, and in the modern friend culture, casual communication, it's hard for most people to have deep conversations. It's hard for people to actually have to take a conversation seriously.
Yeah.
And have to be vulnerable. That's the other thing is on the internet, you don't have to be vulnerable.
Yeah, you can hide all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so on the internet, you could be perfectly fine when in reality you're doing horribly.
And that is actually part of communication. For example, the Bible uses the word communication as our way of life. Your
Yeah.
communication is just referring to your way of life.
Yeah,
what you
because
do
it
in your life.
communicates to others the person you are.
So when we are showing parts of our life, but not all of
The
it.
best parts only.
Yes, the best parts only. That's
a false communication.
Yeah, false or partial communication. We're not. It's communication is a transfer of knowledge, and so we're not fully transferring that knowledge of our life, and so it's very shallow. That is very shallow. Then communication, as in face-to-face conversations, or even over text or direct messaging, everything. It's all very shallow. There's no depth to our communication. I really enjoy, like I said, it's harder for me to have deeper communication conversations, mostly because my brain is slower.
Yeah, that
I
makes
totally
sense.
accept it. It's fine, whatever. I like my life.
Yeah.
So it takes me longer to think through things. But I do very much enjoy sitting and listening to somebody else's deep conversation. Like when you and Ruth are talking. We have another friend, Aaron. He's been on the podcast before a while back. he is very crazy. But there's still, he's one of those people that is really good at communication.
He is. Legitimately, he's good at that.
He is very good because he can enjoy life and just have a crazy time with you, but just on a dime. He can flip that switch and just get into a really deep, really good conversation, and just he's a good friend.
He's uniquely good at that. Actually,
He's very good at that.
I feel there is a few people like Ruth's good at that, Aaron's good at that.
Mm-hmm.
There's and that's I think that's something that's lost. That I think more people, and I personally, there's some people that say small talk, hate small talk, and it's better without it. I think we need small talk.
Yeah.
In the same way we need convenient and fast communication on the internet, which is, it's a good way to warm up. And if you need to communicate first with a stranger for some other purpose, you need small talk.
Yeah, small talk is a good way to start a
conversation.
Friendship. It's a good way to get things started with somebody you don't know.
Yeah, and that's the same reason that we don't dive into the topic right away.
Yeah.
We start with some sort of small talk.
You don't want to walk up to a stranger and just be like, here's my issues of life. Let me just dump them on you.
Yeah.
And
then
respond.
And then it's like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
You need to get to know the person first. So I'm okay with small talk, but we've gotten into a society that often is exclusively small talk.
Mm-hmm. When all of our communication is shallow, well then it's shallow. There's no depth to it. When you take a boat out and you go in shallow water, you aren't going anywhere.
No.
Because just that boat gets grounded and it don't move nowhere.
And that's what a lot of conversations end up as.
Yeah.
Where they get grounded and they don't move anywhere.
It's conversation. A lot of words were spoken, but...
And eventually you just have to get out of the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, so... those are...
Yeah, that's
more aspects of
it's more aspects. It needs further discovery, I think.
It does.
So
I think we need a part
3. Yeah.
Part 3 is coming back again.
Wow, this is only the second time we've done part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had making friends. We had friends. That went to 4 parts.
4 parts. I don't think we'll get 4 parts.
I don't think we need 4 parts necessarily, but...
Yeah. We'll see how next week goes.
Alright, so... Andrew.
Yeah.
What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for... friends, family. That's been what's making me happy this week, is just having my friends and family around. This weekend was was very busy
Mhm.
because your parents left. So
Oh yeah.
Ruth and I came for their 25th anniversary. Happy
Yes.
anniversary!
Happy anniversary.
Yay! I don't know if they'll watch this, but whatever.
They won't.
That doesn't matter. So Ruth and I came over. We were pseudo parents for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to, I'm gonna have to. I almost hate to say this, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
I am looking forward to whenever we finally have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think you.
Anyway.
I think you'll do good at it.
But that was a lot of fun. Fun. Yes, fun is the word. That was a lot of fun. And then Saturday, was Ben's birthday party, Uncle Ben.
Yes.
That was a little crazy because of he always does games at his birthday party. For example, I think 2 years ago, the game was you cannot say the word like. And if you say that, then if somebody calls you out, you have to mark it off on a little piece of paper.
I was still a kid 2 years ago, so I didn't have to do that one.
Yes. And then last year was, I think
It was riddles.
Yeah. Excuse me, the crazy riddles, and you had to figure...
It was riddles and then some other thing you had to figure out. It was like a multi-step.
It was really interesting, but then...
Oh, you had to guess other people's words as well.
Yeah. But then this year...
it was
you cannot say people's names.
Yep.
Or
no
even
no given name, no nickname.
Yeah.
Nothing. It was
when you address somebody, you'd be like, hey. You know, it was so hard. I thought it would be easier than it was because for the longest time, that's how I spoke to people. I never really said anybody's name, but I've trained myself to use people's names when I'm talking to them and everything. So that was very difficult. But overall, the weekend was a lot of fun. Hanging out with friends, family. Got to hang out with my family Sunday afternoon for lunch, Father's Day.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
Happy Father's Day. If anyone watching is a father. I think a couple of fathers watch us.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Other than that, life's... Oh! I know it was making me happy, too.
I was thinking.
Yep. I don't remember if I said it... I don't remember if it was last week, but... I applied
you did say it last week, yeah.
I did? Okay, I said I applied for...
Because you hadn't gone into the interview yet, but you had applied for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I applied for another job at another place.
Yep.
That's hopefully not monotonous and all the stuff that I don't really like about this job. Well, okay, there's people. That's one of the parts I don't like about this job, and there's people there too. Dealing with annoying people is something you have to deal with at any job. So
yes,
that's not something I'm expecting to get away from.
I can relate to that.
But anyway, so I did it again. I use that a lot.
Anyway.
Anyway. I'm going to try to cut that out of my conversation. We'll see. I went in, had an in-person conversation and testing and everything. It was a lot of brain work, which I very much enjoyed. The testing was.
They had like you told me nothing yet.
Yeah, I will tell you that.
All right.
But then today's Tuesday, so yesterday called me in the morning, whatever. I didn't, I was working, so I didn't answer. Called him back at lunchtime. Yeah, I've got the job. Woo! I'm going to July 8th, which is a Saturday. It's going to be my last day at Northwood Flooring because the 4th of July week, we scheduled it a little differently, so we have Monday and Tuesday off, and then we work till noon on Saturday. Yep, and then July 10th is my first day at the new job, and we'll see how it goes from there.
All right, so we're both doing new stuff in July.
Yeah,
that's fascinating. I also got a new job.
Yes, a while ago. So
yes, it was. Did I talk about it yet? on the
Oh,
podcast? Yeah, the other
one?
thing.
Oh, okay. No, yeah.
So I got a new job. It's a temporary job. I'm going to be working retail at EAA. And so for those of you that don't know, I feel like probably a good amount know, but there's probably a good few that don't.
Mm-hmm.
EAA is a air show in Oshkosh, actually the biggest air show in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I was told, for that 1 week, it's the busiest airport in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true, because I feel like airports are much busier than that.
No, it is.
Really?
I don't know. Have you ever been to EAA?
I've never.
So, have you seen the airport? Like, have you been there and
Yes.
seen...
Yeah, because I went to, we went on that mission trip with Wings as Eagles.
All the grass is covered in airplanes.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, little airplanes come in from all over the world. They cover the grass.
Wow.
All the hangars on the airstrip are full. It's insane. And there's planes constantly going in and out. It's kind of funny because okay, I know a lot about this because I actually saw kind of a documentary on this whole thing. Normally, when operators of an air tower are calling in airplanes and telling them directions, when to land, where, how to fly, flight pattern, stuff like that around, they normally will identify the airplane by like the numbers on the side of the plane and stuff like that. There are always, during that time, so many airplanes in the sky that rather than taking the time to identify them by the number, they will say over the radio, they'll be like, airplane that looks like this, give us a quick waggle of the wings if you hear us. Yeah, okay, not you, the other one. Yeah, you. Okay, now you go like this and do this. Here's your instructions. That's almost exactly how they have to do it because there's so many airplanes.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Anyway, yeah, so that's...
Yeah, this is going to be a cool experience then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be doing that. And the reason I'm working in Oshkosh for 2 weeks is because I'm moving to Oshkosh. Yeah. We're gonna have to pre-record some of the podcasts
during that time. Well, we will have to anyway because of the tent meetings.
Oh yeah, so there's gonna be a good amount. We're gonna have the same setup, same shtick, but there's gonna be a good amount of the podcasts in July that will be pre-recorded.
We'll also have a couple of guests in July.
Yes, that's true.
I've actually talked to both of them a little bit.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Because of the comment that I said to share last week.
Mm-hmm.
And only 2 people did.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, 2's better than none. So if you didn't see it, it was you didn't because you didn't watch it. No, you didn't watch it at all. But people that watch all the way to the end, we told them to comment banana. And apparently, 1 or 2 things happened. Only 2 people got to the end, or only 2 people decided they wanted to comment banana.
Uh-huh.
Which means those are our 2 most faithful watchers, which actually makes a lot of sense, seeing as who they are. Yeah. So we will have a guest. You did? Well,
oh no, yeah, you weren't here. Yeah. We did also specify that if you watch all the way to the end, and if you'd like to be on another episode,
that's true.
On an episode, then comment banana. It's
we can't tell them. Cover the camera. They'll stop the audio.
Yeah, no.
They'll show.
Anyway, continue about your life.
No.
So I'm moving to Oshkosh. Oh, I just joined. Sadly.
Oh boy! Well,
okay.
You have to go back and watch afterwards.
Communication, good thing. Speed of communication, bad thing.
No.
Wait.
Make him go back and watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go back and watch.
I'd rather just do a bit. So I'm moving to Oshkosh, and that is really exciting. I will be fully moved by August, which, by the way, August is when we're taking our break.
Yes.
That's when the season ends. September starts a new season. we're not actually 100% sure how we're going to proceed with the new
That's gonna be
season.
interesting. So you'll be living an hour and a half away.
I will be. So we're going to see how that works out.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll give you more updates as we figure it out. Yes, he will watch to the end. He'll watch the rest. Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. And happy Father's Day to you. He's one of the fathers that watches us.
Yeah.
And so, so that's really interesting. I'm going to be joining a different church, and my job at DoorDash is actually what allowed me to do it, which shows the power of prayer. When you ask for something, the Lord finds a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what was making me happy. I got a new job, moving to a new place, and doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
But
we should wrap.
It's
up.
been an hour and 5 minutes.
It's been a long time.
You know, the Imp and Skiz podcast, they always talk about, I wonder if we'll have enough content to fill the amount of time. I've never wondered that because I know how good I am at talking.
Yes.
About just anything. And so, like always, we are over the allotted hour.
Do we want to do the same thing we did last week at the end of the podcast?
Sure.
Like bananas, but we got to change it this time.
So,
Batman.
Batman? Yeah, I'm okay with that. If you have got to the end, that means you are one of our faithful watchers.
You don't count.
You're in person.
Yeah.
I always don't watch, actually.
So,
If you
we
got
would...
to the end.
So if you got to the end and you're listening to us now or watching us, then Wait, I don't know who you are, but this is awesome. We already had someone comment Batman.
Cool.
And we will
you?
That's
No? Oh, okay.
who is that?
Well, okay, so here let's continue what
Let's
we're saying.
continue.
If
Yeah,
you-
it
if
was
you've gotten
it was you.
That
Yes.
was you, yeah.
And so if you've gotten to the end, then comment Batman, and then we will try to get a hold of you, or you can try to get a hold of us on Instagram.
Comment that if you've gotten this far, and if you'd like to join us as a guest on an episode.
Yeah. So anyone is. And so, if you'd like to be a guest and you got this far, since you're one of our faithful watchers, comment Batman. And we will get in contact with you, and we can set up a time to have you on as a guest. I really like having guests on, because our perspectives, they're fine, they're whatever. But I like, she says they're not good. But I like getting guests' perspectives. So,
Yeah.
go ahead and do that, and thank you all for watching.
Just real quick about that.
More.
If you're just listening to audio, you'll have to hop over onto YouTube.
Yeah, just hop onto
click
YouTube.
on the video, then comment on it.
Though actually, I think I can
Should
add.
they comment if they made it to the end and don't want to be a guest?
If you made it to the end and don't want to be a guest,
Still comment
then-
Batman and still be part of our show. What? Oh.
no, then you should. Let's see, Batman's DC. So comment
Iron Man.
Iron Man. There you go.
Because Iron Man
Those two
sucks.
are like the most disputed. Like people who like Marvel will say Iron Man's better than Batman, and people who like DC will say Batman's better than Iron Man.
So yeah. If you greatly dislike being a guest on our show, you can comment Iron Man, and we will not ever talk to you again. Then we
not
won't
how this
have you
works.
on our
It's
show.
about communication.
The show is about communication and how to cut it. What?
What?
Maybe you should
Oh, is that not what we're doing here?
Let's
My
end.
bad.
Let's leave.
end. So